Welcome back to Tech with Travis, your go-to podcast for exploring the intersection of technology, innovation, and artificial intelligence. I'm your host, Travis, and today we're diving into a critical topic that's reshaping the way organizations think about data security: the risks of data entitlements. From toxic combinations of access rights to entitlement creep, we'll explore how these challenges are amplified by the rise of AI tools like large language models. Stick around as we unpack real-world examples and actionable insights. Let's start with the basics. What are data entitlements? Data entitlements refer to the specific permissions or access rights granted to users within an organization. These permissions determine who can access what data, under what conditions, and for what purpose. Think of it as a digital passport. It defines your boundaries in the data ecosystem. However, this seemingly straightforward concept can become a ticking time bomb when mismanaged. For instance, legacy systems often fail to detect toxic combinations, situations where a user has multiple permissions that, when combined, create excessive privileges. Imagine someone in finance having both the ability to create vendors and issue payments. This could enable fraud through fake companies. So, what is the role of large language models in amplifying risks? Let's talk about how large language models like Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT fit into this picture. These tools are incredibly powerful for productivity. They aggregate data from various sources to generate insights. But here's the catch. They rely on the permissions granted to users. If those permissions are overly broad or poorly managed, large language models can inadvertently expose sensitive information. For example, Microsoft Copilot has been criticized for its over-permissioning tendencies. It can access vast amounts of data from Microsoft cloud environments, including intellectual property and financial documents, if strict access controls aren't in place. Imagine an HR manager using Copilot to compile a report on employee performance, but accidentally exposing personal employee data due to improper permissions. This is not just a hypothetical, it's a real risk. To understand the stakes, let's look at some high-profile data breaches. In 2023 alone, over 133 million healthcare records were breached due to hacking incidents, many stemming from improper access controls. These breaches underscore how entitlement mismanagement can have life-altering consequences for individuals. In 2024, at AT&T, hackers accessed sensitive information from over 73 million customers due to improperly secured systems. This breach highlights how excessive access rights can lead to catastrophic outcomes. Again, in 2024, a staggering 2.9 billion individuals had their personal information leaked due to poor entitlement management by a background check company. Names, social security numbers, and addresses were exposed on the dark web. Another major issue is entitlement creep. This happens when users accumulate unnecessary permissions over time as they change roles or projects within an organization. For example, someone who moves from IT support to marketing might retain admin access they no longer need. Over time, these excessive privileges become blind spots for security teams. According to research, more than 95% of cloud accounts use less than 3% of their granted entitlements. This not only increases the attack surface, but also makes auditing and monitoring nearly impossible. So how do we address these risks? Let me provide some actionable steps. Implement fine-grained access controls. Move beyond basic authentication and authorization by adopting data entitlement frameworks that consider context, like time, location, and device. Regular audits. Conduct periodic reviews of user permissions to identify and revoke unnecessary entitlements. Use zero trust principles. Adopt a need-to-know approach where users only have access to data essential for their roles. Leverage AI responsibly. For tools like large language models, ensure robust governance policies are in place. Use features like role-based access controls and encryption to minimize exposure risks. As we've seen today, managing data entitlements isn't just about compliance. It's about protecting your organization's most valuable asset, its data. With the rise of AI tools like large language models, the stakes have never been higher. Thanks for tuning into Tech with Travis. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into tech trends that matter.